More governors jump ship from their parties ahead of 2027. The Labour Party protests to INEC over the failure to upload names of nominated candidates for the FCT area council polls. Political parties recalibrate with key appointments ahead of 2 off-season elections in 2026. We have these and more on our lineup. I'm Fisai Ogunfuye. This is Political Update. Welcome. In the course of last week, Governor Caleb Mutwang has formally picked the APC membership card following his resignation from the People's Democratic Party. He was formally received by the State Executive Council of the All Progressives Congress at the APC Secretariat in Jos.
With the conclusion of all formalities, Governor Mutwang said before the formal defection, he has made wide consultations and his dream is that of one united plateau. He therefore calls for unity among all the people, stressing that he will continue to support President Tinubu, whom he says is determined to put the country on the path of development.
Just like you have accorded me all the privileges of a member of the APC, I want you to know that I will provide the leadership that gives everybody the space to express himself. And my desire is to make sure that where conversations are being held about national development, that Plateau is well represented.
Chairman of the All Progressives Congress Plateau State, Rufus Bature, who welcomed the governor and his team, assures that APC is a party that accommodates all without discrimination.
Having fulfilled all the requirements of the party constitution, and we accord to you all the privileges as enshrined in the APC constitution.
Secretary to the government of Plateau State, Samuel Jato, says it is time to put aside differences and think and act Plateau. The governor thereafter went into a closed-door meeting with APC state leaders.
Members of the Labour Party on Monday staged a peaceful protest at the headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Abuja over issues relating to the uploading of the party's nominated candidates for the forthcoming Federal Capital Territory Area Council elections. INEC officials received the protesters and assured them of the Commission's commitment to an inclusive electoral process.
Supporters of the Labour Party converged at the national headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Maitama to express concerns over the process for uploading the party's nominated candidates for the forthcoming FCT area council elections, scheduled for February 2026. Protesters presented copies of a court order issued by the Federal Capital Territory High Court, which, according to the party, relates to the uploading and publication of the names and particulars of its nominated candidates.
There is a court order that they must upload the Labour Party. They have not done so. So we are demanding that INEC must upload candidates of Labour Party. Now, the national chairman of Labour Party, Barrister Julius Abure, is the recognized chairman of Labour Party. Yes. In every state, all those he sent the list. He sent list of candidates. For any election, INEC has always uploaded it. Why have they refused to upload FCT?
INEC officials received the protesters as National Commissioner Abdullahi Abdul Zuru addressed the gathering and reiterated the Commission's commitment to ensuring an inclusive electoral process.
I will assure you that this I will personally hand over to the chairman, and the commission will definitely act this. As a commission, we have never disregarded or disobeyed court order.
All right, so many things. Some people will say, well, I know they finish, but that's the local palace. Many have described 2026 as the year before the year. 2 main off-season governorship elections, national conventions of political parties to determine the presidential standard bearers ahead of the presidential election. We have joining us National Chairman of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, Yusuf Dantale. Thank you very much for joining us. This is the first time we're seeing you this year, so Happy New Year.
Thank you, sir.
Your members will be, in frenetic action this year, preparing for the general election and, of course, 2 very crucial off-season governorship elections as well. What is the mood in camp?
First, I will start by wishing Nigerians a very happy New Year, very prosperous New Year, and to also thank Nigerians for enduring the turbulence of 2025, politically, economically, and otherwise. The previous year recorded a lot. Nigerians went through hard times, resulting from increasing the cost of energy, and a lot. But then we have succeeded in enduring last year, and also enduring 26 years of uninterrupted democracy. It's a very welcome development, and I will thank Nigerians, and then we still urge Nigerians to remain patient and calm to see how we can go into the next election in atmosphere of decorum and peace, so that we all operate within the confines of the Constitution of Nigeria, because the first thing that we need to look at is Nigeria. Without Nigeria, you can't have political parties. Without Nigeria, you can't have political offices. Without Nigeria, you can't have elections. So whatever we do, we must put Nigeria first before anything.
Okay, before the big one, there will be 2 off-season or off-cycle elections this year in Ekiti and Osun State. We had Anambra last year. What would you say are the key things INEC should watch out for in preparing for the general elections, perhaps using these 2 off-season elections as a litmus test?
Okay, let me also once again welcome the new INEC chairman, because even the Anambra election, everything was already put in place before he came. So these are the 2 elections, the 3 elections, because we have Ekiti, Osun, and the FCT is going to determine his position. He has said so many things. I've met with him, and then he assured us that yes, he will work within the confines of Constitution without favor or any form of influence from politicians. And we have no cause not to believe him. Professor Mahmoud, thank him. He has done he laid solid foundation. So I believe that Professor Joash Amupiton, SAN, will do justice to elections. We believe that he will do the right thing. We will give him all the support as political parties. But in all, the political actors must be very careful so that we don't heat up the polity, because we have seen situations, a lot of political actors jumping ships from one party to another, and taking politics to the extreme, and it's really, really bad. It's not healthy. But then while we talk about the way we take these things, it's because of the remuneration of our political office holding. We have said this several times. We must begin to work towards politics that will enthrone service to Nigerians.
Perhaps to be de-incentivized.
Yes.
As it's not as if it's always
because
about...
the way politicians, some politicians, not all, the way the extremism is outrageous and it's scary, so that we don't jeopardize the existing structure as it is. We will, if you embark on division of Nigerians or people because you want power, if you gain power, eventually you will find it difficult to bring the people back. You might end up using your entire tenure trying to bring the people back. So no matter what we do, let's look at Nigerians first. Let's look at Nigeria. Let's look at peace. Let's de-incentivize politics. Let's see how we can serve or go into looking at these things within the atmosphere of people, for the interests of the masses. Not just about us, but the way we pursue this thing with trying to circumvent the existing rules, it's scary.
Okay, let's go back a little bit to 2023, because I saw you on the floor at the National Coalition Center, the ICC at the time. And we saw, at that time you were not the chairman of IFAC, you were representing your party, there, and we saw the push and shove, the controversies and all the, brouhaha there. And also at the state level, what we saw, the issues, therein in terms of, pre-elections issues, why almost all our elections end up in court. How do we perhaps reduce that and trust in the system to perhaps bring out the best of us, as against, we need to, after all the expending all the monies and, the time we spend in the sun voting and all that, at the end of the day, it will, get to the pronouncement of the courts to determine who is where.
Thank you. This will also take us back to reasons why politicians or political actors go into politics. Some go into politics because they want to win election. Some go into politics maybe because they want to add the contest to their CV. Some some go into election maybe because they want to make money. Some go into election because they want to negotiate positions. So some of it is the purpose of the respective individual for going into the election determines what comes out of it, determines whether you go to court. That is one part. Secondly, the judicial arm of the government, the first thing we did as IPAC, when I assumed my first tenure, was to have a roundtable on the role of judiciary in the system. The judicial arm of government also need to be very careful so that they do not jeopardize what we are doing. Because there are lots of people in judiciary who feel, okay, maybe they are not carried along, or the best way for them to come in is to see how they can maybe cause trouble in the system, from the bench to the bar. You see judicial, maybe lawyers coming in to see how they can go to court, maybe to test their carryability. Okay, they maybe what their ability to win some cases, determine if they will become son and or not. So some of these things we have appealed to all stakeholders to see. Even the security agencies, they are also complicit in some cases, because you see some overzealous security officers are working outside the constitution, trying to serve the interests of individual persons. Today, this person is there. Tomorrow, it won't be there.
Perhaps this withdrawal of private security details would...
it will help to some extent. But in all, we must look at the end of political office. Why do people seek political office? Is it to serve? Why should somebody who just win election today is already, a bank is waiting for him to give him loan that he didn't ask or he didn't request, when the actual people, the farmers, the investors who need the loan to propel the economy to greater heights are not given the loans? So why? Look at the sum of today. Nigerians don't really know what goes to a political office holding. It is not clear the take-home pay of legislators, for instance. Now you look at constituency project. In the past, we don't know what is constituency allowance. This is purely within the confines of the executive. The legislature is supposed to be confined to lawmaking. But today, and the executive is to administer the laws being made by the legislature, though under the supervision or the check of the executive and the legislature and the judiciary. But here today, legislatures will come and campaign as, I will construct this road for you, I will do this. This is, for me, it's an aberration of what of the principle of separation of powers.
All right, we'll come back to that. Of course, we're running short, but we'll still come back to that. Let's just take one or two stories before we go. The APC Patriotic Volunteers have reaffirmed commitment to promoting good governance, active citizenship, and the rule of law as members from Kano's 44 local government areas gathered for their end-of-year meeting in Kano. With the theme to promote unity and victory of the party, the meeting also strategized on mobilizing substantial votes for the president in the forthcoming election, which will be next year.
APC Patriotic Volunteers held their annual general meeting with delegates from all 44 local government areas of Kano State in attendance, focusing on party unity, grassroots mobilization, and electoral victory. Speakers at the gathering highlighted the need to deepen public enlightenment on the values of good governance, citizenship, and respect for the rule of law, aligning with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Because of our volunteerism and the spirit that drives us to work hard in all the 484 wards, we are sure this is a very, very simple, target to reach.
It is about community commitment to deliver the good of democracy to the people.
The group also outlined plans to mobilize more than 500,000 votes in future elections and commended party leaders in Kano for efforts to foster reconciliation, discipline, and cohesion within the party. They reaffirmed their readiness to support ongoing reforms and strengthen democratic participation at the local level. In Kano, Awal Salisu, NTA News.
All right, we'll skip our story to Oyo, but we'll quickly go to Delta State, because ahead of the 2027 general election, leaders and stakeholders of the All Progressive Congress Ika Federal Constituency have held their first meeting since Delta State's defection in April 2025 to sensitize members on the commencement of the party's electronic registration exercise. The meeting provided a platform for party leaders and stakeholders to deliberate, strategize, and outline key measures and values required to ensure the APC remains strong and competitive going forward.
The stakeholders meeting at the instance of the National Publicity Secretary and Chairman NTA Board, Felix Moka, brought together top political leaders and members of the All Progressives Congress APC from the various wards across the Ika Federal constituency. Felix Moka said the meeting is essential to sensitize members on the ongoing electronics registration exercise. He emphasized that registration on the party's e-platform is a mandatory requirement for participation in the Congress elections scheduled for February 2026.
I think we're the first political party to attempt this innovation that is looking to set our record straight and make it easily usable and accessible.
If we all decide that we have to work together and to start now, not tomorrow, I'm sure that we'll be able to command the space in all the 26 wards of the Ika Federal Constituency.
The people of the Ika Federal Constituency are happy with Mr. President. This is one federal constituency that has benefited the most in terms of development, courtesy of NPPC. So we will take your message and we will do the needful.
Unity is paramount. Anybody sitting here who is not from Ika Federal Constituency, seeing us gather here like this, will be very proud to have witnessed this gathering.
All right, parties recalibrating and getting ready for the big one, even at the local level and all that. This will be one of the main things that we'll see in 2026. But how do we, at least for some time, be able to allow, at least at the state level, for instance, for governance to continue and ensuring that society goes on an even keel before we move headlong into politicking?
Politics or democracy without a foundation at the local level, for me, it's an aberration, and it will not sit well with Nigerians. I will use this to thank the President, Ahmed Ashiwaju, on the push for local government autonomy. He's doing well on that, and I want him to continue. And I want the National Assembly to work to see how a National Assembly, local government can be strengthened. You see, what is happening at the local level in this country is, I don't want to use some derogative words, but it's really bad. local government in Nigeria is virtually not functioning. The reason is because some state government, some state governors have decided to pocket the state government, the local government. Today, we have a situation where a foreign government is coming to salvage security situation in Nigeria. This puts a lot of question to our sovereignty. And to a larger extent, I see it as a result of non-functionality of the local government level. Because people at the local government are impoverished. Almost all the governors, local government chairmen are here in Abuja. Go back to where you are voted. We have been advocating for the scrapping of local government, State Independent Electoral Commission. Because as long as that SEC is allowed to continue with what they do as election, we will still have our democracy existing only at the national and state level. There's no government at local. You see a local government chairman, what he gets out for all the allocation, the governor will call him and give him 5-6 million for
interest.
Yes, and then the remaining. I don't want to say something, but the EFCC, why they are doing this, should still look at what is happening at local government level, and we must review the status or the conduct of the existence of State Independent Electoral Commission. If we don't do that, our democracy, I am sorry, will still be worse than it is today. But Mr. President, you should continue to do what you are doing to ensure that autonomy, to ensure that Nigerians vote for who they want, not who the governors want to remain or to pilot the affairs of local government across Nigeria. It is bad, it is evil, and it's destructive. We can't continue to exist like this.
All right, we'll continue this conversation. It's just getting heated. Of course, we will probably bring you back. This is just January, and we'll begin to look at what the tea leaves are telling us as far as 2026 is concerned. We've had Malam Yusuf Dantale, National Chairman, Inter-Party Advisory Council, joining us this on Political Update today, the second edition for the year. I called you during the holidays. They said you had gone to a farm. That's very good. You're a politician with a farm. That's very good. So that's the program for today. Between now and when we see again, play your politics for the greater good, and keep it logged on Nigerian Television Authority for news, reviews, previews, and interviews. Bye-bye now.